Give me 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
Hello, Top Fan Rivalry followers. That's the way to start an episode out. We're starting with movie quotes today. Awesome. How you guys doing? We got Big Dave in the house. We got Mikey Bleeds Blue. We're gonna go odd couple. It's giddy up time. If you're watching this on YouTube, congratulations, you're seeing it for free, but you need to hit, or as Dave would say, you need to mash that subscribe button. If you're watching in the locker room, you're already there, you're already part of the community. Hallelujah. If you're not part of the community yet, you've missed out so far, but jump into it. We are a sports talk fan involved. We are a community. Forget the community. We are the best baseball fan community out there. So, Dave, Mikey, how you doing today?
Doing great.
I am doing great, guys. And as usual, it is a pleasure to be here with y'all.
There you go. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We
You
got
know,
some
I
questions.
know, I know we're big. We're
Go,
big. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. We're big what?
I was just gonna say, I know where you guys are. It's already hot, but we're over 100 here ourselves, and we're not used to it. So we're 80s kind of people, and we've been in this crazy hellstorm.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'm back in SoCal. I'm not in Texas anymore.
Uh,
And so I'm good, man. But all right, so let's get this started. So Dave, the Astros have picked it up. They've started to play like the Astros that you thought. Mikey, the Dodgers are still staying hot. Dave, give me a 90-second breakdown of your boys.
Look here. In the last 10 games, we're 8-2. We're back in the saddle again. These look like the Astros that we've all waited for. This looks like the team that should have gotten off of the 2022 parade and kept going. I couldn't be happier, and I feel sorry for the AL West for not taking care of business when they did.
When they had it. When they had the business to take care of, right? Um,
When
Mikey,
they had us on the ropes, you got to take us up.
you gotta throw that knockout punch. Mikey, what's your thoughts? What are you thinking about the Dodgers right
uh, at the moment of shooting, we are 20 games over 500 with a myriad of injuries, just like Dave's team. We're all, everybody's going through injuries. Uh, Mookie's down, Yamamoto, uh, Walker Bueller's back on the IL. Clayton had a setback, and yet we are 20 games over 500 with our 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters barely hitting above the Mendoza line. I don't know how we're doing it, other than Shohei has put everybody on his bed. Gavin Stone has really showed up. So for what the Dodgers are currently going through, I will say the All-Star break I don't think could come soon enough. But we are 20 games over 500, 8.5 up on our next nearest competitor. So obviously you can't complain.
now? Okay. Okay. So now, Mikey, let me ask you the next question. Are the Astros, and then Dave, I'm gonna ask you the same question, and you two can debate this a little bit, but are the Astros, I'm sorry, are the 2024 world champion Los Angeles Dodgers and are the Houston Astros on a collision course to see each other again in October/November?
Well, I would have said no, but obviously the Astros have found a new way of cheating lately and have, it'll be figured out. They'll get caught in a couple of years, but, you know, I don't know how they're doing it, but they are. And yes, they've got back in it. I'd love to see a repeat of the 2017 matchup, not necessarily the finish, obviously, but the matchup. If they kept it up, no.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Dave?
I couldn't agree more. On the short term and the long term. I mean, the Astros have been winning the games that they should have been winning lately. The Dodgers, like Mikey said, they're 20 games over 500, firmly in the driver's seat in their division. I think this is the series that the rest of the if you don't live in California or Texas, it's not a matchup you'd want to see in the Fall Classic. But it's kind of needed. We need that grudge match after everything it's went down and the scandal and all that. I think the only way, and we'll never live that down in the eyes of hardcore Dodger fans. I get it, but I think winning another title head up with no said trash cans, maybe a little bribe money, never hurt nobody. But no trash cans or buzzers needed. If we were to ever, win another series over the Dodgers like that, I think it's safe face a little bit. But more importantly, the Astros have got a nice stretch here after the All-Star break with some AL West teams that lead right up to a mid-season battle with the Dodgers in the juice box. So I'm excited to see where it's going. As of right now recording, the Astros have 2 All-Star starters. Congratulations to Jose Altuve and formerly of the Dodgers organization, Mr. Yordan Alvarez. I couldn't be happier, and I think that much to the dismay of most of the league's fan bases, the Dodgers and Astros would put on a show in the Fall Classic.
A show.
I like the word chagrin more than dismayed. I would go with chagrin.
Much to the chagrin. Yeah, there we go.
Much to the chagrin. And I'll tell you what, Major League Baseball would have a field day if those two met up again in the Fall Classic, just because of what happened last time.
Oh, yeah, you sell the grudge match. I mean, you get the full-on Apollo versus Rocky entrances. Like, it's going to be a dogfight, And I can only hope that both teams are at 100%, because that would be the only way to do it properly.
Only way. Agreed. Okay, so Dave, deadline. Okay, the deadline is fast approaching. Who on the deadline? What are you looking for? What are you going to go grab? So you're Jimmy Crane's right-hand person. You're going to grab a few people. What are you going to grab? Mikey, same question to you. After Dave, what are you going for the deadline?
It was funny. Over the weekend, I was on the jet with Jim. I call him Jim. And we were discussing just this very topic. He was like, Dave, I need to know what your strategies are. What are our needs? Where do we need to go? Please help me. I can't figure this out. So me and Dana Brown, we spoke about it, and there seems to be a plethora, dare I say, a plethora. Shout out to El Guapo. A plethora of first basemen that are available. There is one that I want, and there's one that I don't want no part of. The one I don't want no part of, and not against his talent or anything, and definitely no slight on his father, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. I do not want to overpay for a rental in this way. Okay, he's unrestricted at the end of the year. It would straight be a rental, and I think we'd have to give up somebody like Jake Myers and one of the few prospects we have left in the system. The guy that I want at first base, Arizona keeps flubbing up. Christian Walker is one of the best defensive first basemen in the league, and he's also got some power, which we are lacking severely at the first base and at that 6-7 spot in the lineup. That's the guy I want. I don't think we'd be able to afford the price that they'd be asking for him. The guy that I think we could very well end up with, and it's kind of tough because these guys have been on a run, but they're still out of a playoff spot at time of recording, and that's the New York Metropolitans. I'm sorry, Meg, but yes, I would like to pilfer Pete Alonso from your team. I think that would probably be the most easily obtained player, and I definitely would like to have that bat in the lineup. I would like to say starting pitching, but I don't think we can afford anybody that's out there. just shortly to mind the White Sox. The Mets. Pilfer and the Mets again come to mind. Manea's had a good year. Quintanilla put up some numbers, and Severino is Severino. But like I said, I don't think we can afford those prices. So I'm all in on Pete Alonso. Pete, come on down to Houston.
Come down to Houston. Got it. Mikey, you had your hand up, but what do you think?
I would love the Astros to get Christian Walker because he's an absolute Dodger killer, and we would not have to face him 12, 13 times a year with the Diamondbacks.
So, Mikey,
that was it.
Who are you grabbing?
Well, like I've said, the Dodgers, we're short an outfielder. We have 100 pitchers that are all great, but 98 of them are hurt, and apparently they're coming back soon, but never soon enough. Bullpen help. I would have to probably say starting pitching or an outfielder right now. And the names I've heard, I'm not thrilled with. I don't want Luis Robert. We already have like 6 guys that hit 210 or lower. And that's where Luis Robert is. So, and I know it would cost an arm and a leg, prospects wise, and the Dodgers have prospects. That's, is his name Garrett Crochet?
Yeah, Davy Crockett. Yeah,
Crochet from the White Sox, and to a lesser extent, even Eric Fetty. So I would like another starting pitcher. I know Fetty and Crochet are, probably on the block. Why would the White Sox want to hold them and, pretty much waste them for the next couple of years? They're going nowhere. So, but I know they're asking for a lot for Crochet. Other than that, I don't want Bo Bichette. I've heard them talk about Bo Bichette. That's just another guy having a horrible year. And Miguel Rojas has done great in Mookie's stead anyway. So give me a starting pitcher along the lines of a Crochet or a good innings eater, not like a Lance Lynn innings eater. Give me someone who is actually going to pitch some solid innings. So a starting pitcher.
Okay, starting pitcher. I like it. I like where both of you are going with both of those because it's strengthening. And Dave, in your case, you do have a little bit of a soft spot at first base, but you're dynamic at second, short, and third. Your shortstop does not get enough shine. And you've got about 47 outfielders that can play the game. And the Dodger realm, again, Gavin Lux seems to be kind of the odd man out a little bit right now, but is what it is, right?
I'm very disappointed in him. I've been a big Gavin Lux supporter over the last couple of years. I know last year he got hurt and missed the whole year. The year before that, he led the league in triples, and even in the minors, he was hitting like 20 home runs, a season type stuff. And he hasn't sniffed any of those things since 2021, maybe. So he'd better figure it out and quick, or I would package him. I'm to that point where it's time to stay. We're over halfway through the year now, and you should be more than in baseball readiness to go. So pick it up or get out.
Yep, 100%. 100.
And I don't know why we signed Kevin Biggio at all, by the way.
Well, because Max is down for a while.
Much to the chagrin of Houston fans. See, are you
You
sure?
guys can have him. We'll just give him to you.
I do. I'd love to have Alonso in our lineup. Going back to what Bill was saying there, or the guy out of Arizona.
Christian Walker.
Field guys that with those Crawford boxes.
It would stretch our lineup up. That's 6, 7. And then we got Diaz down there. It'd be nice. I just, again, with what we have left in the farm system, I think we'd be giving up too much. I don't want to lose Jake Myers. He's a hell of an outfielder.
Yeah, he's a good outfielder. All right, boys, we talked about you guys being on a collision course, the Dodgers, Astros. We talked about the trade deadline. We're going to play a little game today, which we haven't played before, but it was recommended to yours truly by one of the castmates in this show that we ought to play your fictional baseball character from a movie, Mount Rushmore. You got 4 choices. Who are you putting on your Mount Rushmore of baseball movie folklore? And there's hundreds to choose from. Now, the only caveat to this game, you can choose characters from the same movie. The only thing you can't do is you can't choose the same actor. So if an actor has played in multiple movies, i.e., Ray from Field of Dreams, also Crash Davis, also Billy Chapel, yada yada yada.
I was gonna say there's really only one actor that kind of applies to, but we all know what you meant there because I can't think of too many others that have played multiple players.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay. So Dave, I'm gonna let you lead this off. I am going to let you lead this off. Dave, who's the first person? And this is not number one in your program and number one in your heart. Just who's your first person that you're putting up on Mount Rushmore? You got 4.
Yeah, we got 4, and then I'm starting off with none other, and this may be a bit of a shock for some folks, but when you look at numbers, the greatest female catcher to ever live, I'm going with Dottie Henson.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Dottie Henson could do it all. She was magic behind the plate, even when her sister was wild. Handling Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell in the outfield, in the infield there was no short task. And having to deal with, a skipper that has had his best years. We all really know who ran. And shout out, I tip my cap to Dottie Henson.
Yeah, Cat, screw that girl. She only got to go there because her sister was a stud anyway.
That's it.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Mikey, what do you got for number 1?
Okay, well, my first one is it's not as out there as his, and his is not out there because she was in my running. But I am going to go with Crash Davis of Bull Durham fame. And not just because of that, because I just know Kevin Costner is a baseball enthusiast as well. Field of Dreams was phenomenal. And, the Billy Chapel one, what's For the Love of the Game. And I'm not even a big fan of that outside of a certain voice in it. So I am gonna Kevin Costner as Crash Davis is Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Got it. Now, boys, normally I just ask the questions, but I'm going to jump in there today. My first person I'm putting on the Mount Rushmore of baseball movie folklore is in the cathedral that is Yankee Stadium belongs to a chapel. I'm giving Billy Chapel the first nod. This guy was amazing. Now, I wish I could talk about the announcer who said that, which was Vince Scully. But in a cathedral that is Yankee Stadium belongs to a chapel, Billy Chapel, number 1, get up in there. All right, Dave, what you got for number 2?
Well,
Hey,
are you going
both
to tell
phenomenal.
everybody who that is? Did
Yeah,
you
Billy
say
Chapel
Kevin Costner?
for Love of the Game. It's Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for Love of the Game, Kevin Costner. Now,
All
please
right.
remember, you can use. I can't use Crash Davis anymore because I mean it's played by the same guy. But I could use Donnie Henson later.
Why
Davey
couldn't you
Henson.
use? Why couldn't you? Oh no, you can't. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
No,
Look, you guys both had phenomenal picks, and those are probably my two favorite of the 37 movies. You can't deny the greatness that was Crash Davis because he's that player that I'm gonna be honest, I could probably relate more to because I'd forever be chasing the greatest 21 days in my life, spending my whole career in the minors, riding the buses, trying to get back to the show. And like you said, Ray Chappell, you're doing it in the house that Ruth built, so I can't be mad at that. Okay,
2000.
second up on Big Dave's Mount Rushmore of fictional baseball players, I gotta do it. Cue the music. Wild Thing, you make my heart sing. None other. Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn, bringing the heat with or without the glasses. That's a personal preference. But yes, I got to take Ricky Vaughn, the heart of that Indians pitching staff.
I like it. I
That's
like it.
good pick.
I love that pick, Mikey. What do you got?
Is it my turn?
Yes, sir. It's your turn.
I am coming straight out of the late 70s with this one. And the next bust on my Mount Rushmore is Kelly Leak. Yes, Kelly Leak.
Yes.
The gambling, smoking, just phenom, And answer me this question. So Kelly Leak is from the Bad News Bears. Why would Buttermaker never say, Kelly, get in here and pitch? The guy threw from beyond the left field fence at the beginning of the movie and hit the catcher's hand from, and yet he brings in Einstein or whatever the heck. What was that?
Rudy Stein.
That guy's, she couldn't pitch. The curly hair dude.
Rudy Stein.
And he couldn't do squad.
Rudy Stein. Yeah.
Rudy Stein.
No.
So why wouldn't you pitch Kelly Lee? Let him throw gas at these kids and blow them away.
And the
Come
answer
on, Buttermaker.
The answer is because they paid Tatum O'Neal a lot of money to be in that movie.
No, I agree. I'm just saying when she got hurt.
Yeah. No.
You call in the righty out of center field and come on in. Rudy, sit down, dude.
Yeah. No, I love it.
So Kelly Leak,
shout out to that. That's what.
Bust.
Yeah, indicated. He drove his team.
Yeah.
Okay, from California to Texas to play in the Astrodome.
I hope they
no
still
driver's license
as a. You have to be a certain age. By the time they broke training and everything else, the guy was 27 playing against 11-year-olds. But whatever.
11-year-olds. Yeah. Carmen
Bill,
Ronzani.
You got who's your second?
So who
pick?
do I got? Number 2. Now, this individual may not be the best and most talented on the field, but he led a team, okay? And he showed his team when you want something, you go right after it and you get it. Even if you have to jump in a pool and act like you're drowning.
I know who your pick is.
We got to go
quality
with
pick.
Squints Polidorus. Squints gets Wendy Peppercorn.
Yeah.
He may not have been the best on the field, but the dude knew what he wanted and he went right after it. So Squints Polidorus, you get my second nod. You are in Mount Rushmore. When everybody was worried about you and you kind of opened your eyes and winked and then you grabbed Wendy, you win.
He grabbed her in life in that movie too. I mean
that deserves a standing ovation.
How many kids did they have?
No,
11.
Yeah, I love.
I'm standing up because that deserves a standing ovation. Shout out to Squints Polidorus. Ended up with Wendy Peppercorn. You know what I'm saying? He knew it all along, guys. I told you he knew. And ends up owning
he probably knew how to swim too.
Drug store at the end with a bunch of kids with Wendy Peppercorn. I cannot argue. Yeah. Oh, the whole time. Yeah. No doubt. I mean, and he's swimming with his glasses on. I mean, that's pro.
Yeah.
That's a pro.
100%.
When you're swimming with the Buddy Hollies on, because, you know, they ain't got no nose grip. It's all plastic.
Yeah. There you go. All right, Dave, what you got for number 3? What you got for number 3, Big D?
In the same movie, we're gonna stick with the same movie because this guy is my spirit fictional player. All right,
it's the catcher,
and we're talking about. Yep. It's the catcher. It's the heart of the team. It's the spark plug. He's the goon. You know what I'm saying? He's the Sultan of SWAT, the Colossus of Clout, the great Hambino, Hamilton Ham Porter, because you play ball like a girl.
Yeah.
Etched under his head on Mount Rushmore. Hamilton Porter, welcome to Big Dave's Mount Rushmore of fictional baseball.
Good pick.
Great pick. Great
Thank
pick.
you. Tip the cap.
Great pick. Great pick. Okay, so Mikey, that leads you to you.
Okay, so my guy next is another guy that has been in multiple baseball movies. And I am going to call him, we're going with the character name, Terrence Mann from Field of Dreams. His speech when he gives the speech at the baseball field, the whole kidnapping thing, all of it, just all of Field of Dreams. He's my number 3. He had a great character role in The Sandlot with 2 of your last picks, with Squints and with
Ham Porter.
Ham Porter, the Sultan of SWAT, so he'll be up there with some of your friends, they can all look at each other, whatever. Terrence Mann, though, that also in a movie, strangely enough, in the early 70s, something about Bingo Bango's something with Billy D. Williams, who was Lando Calrissian in one of them. So you had 2 dudes from Star Wars in the early 70s in this baseball movie. Something in the All-Stars. I don't even know what it's called, but that was his 3rd one. But yes, Terrence Mann's role, his role as Terrence Mann, he gets my 3rd spot on my Mount Rushmore.
Love it.
As voiced by I'm sorry, not voiced by, but portrayed by the immortal James Earl Jones.
Yes.
And for extra bonus points, it was Bingo Long's Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings with Billy D. Williams. It's on Tubi right now.
A little off base, but one of my favorite shows to watch these days is The Big Bang Theory, and he had a great cameo role in one, and I thought he was awesome.
Can't go along with Lord Vader. I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah. I just watched that episode not too long ago, Mikey. All right, my number 3 wins, okay, for 3 reasons. Number 1, when he has an argument with a lady, she says, well, what about Miss Fuel Injection? And he says, well, she bet me $50 she had a better body than you, and I had to defend your honor. Then later on in the same movie, This individual uses his spikes after driving the bullpen car over to her house to remove the dress. And he beat out the bunt that gave the team the winning run, answers the phone when he's allowed to go to spring training, and is hungover, sombrero and all, and says, "Hey, if you're going to pull this crap, at least you should have said you were from the Yankees." Mr. Jake Taylor, we are carving you onto Mount Rushmore for all those reasons and more. One of my favorite scenes is when they're arguing in the library, and he says, "Well, she bet me $50. She had a better body than you, and I had to defend your honor." That is such a guy thing. Congratulations, Jake Taylor. Fellas, what do you think of my choice?
I like it.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I can't argue with somebody who ends up with Rene Russo at the end. That's definitely top 4. All right. So
Last one, Dave.
just to recap here, I've got the immortal Dottie Henson, the Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn, the great Hambino Hamilton Porter, and rounding out my Mount Rushmore. This was tough because there's one spot left, and while I can go on for days about honorable mentions and what they've done for the game, I've got to bring the heat. And if you bring the heat, how can you go against Henry, Rowan Gerner, Rowan Frenner, Rossenpfeffer, Rasmussen,
Rosenberger.
Rossenhagen, Robert Hoser, Robin Gardner? He's bringing the heat. Chicago Cubs lore, Henry, Rowan Gardner. And I might have to just chisel a small the supporting by Daniel Stern, which is phenomenal.
Yes.
But yes, I got 2 pitchers. I'm taking Henry.
Good call.
I love that. And he was on my list, and I was going to mention him as an honorable mention if nobody talked about him. But Rosenberger was a great pitcher, that's for sure. And Daniel Stern trying to teach him, and Gary, I swear I'm always sober, Busey,
The
as
Rocket.
the Rocket,
That was pre-motorcycle accident, so
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That was fresh off of Buddy Holly. Man, we get 2 Buddy Holly references in one show. Check that off your bingo card.
There you go. There you go. Okay, Mikey, what you got for number 4?
Number 4, I am bringing someone out of the booth.
Oh,
A lifelong, just been a baseball guy his whole life, Harry Doyle. Harry Doyle is my 4th pick for my Mount Rushmore of baseball. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed. Whatever.
It's okay. Nobody's listening. Love it. Love
exactly.
Harry Doyle.
So Harry Doyle of Major League.
okay.
Love it.
So I love that one. That was on my list too. And I had another person on there that we'll bring up maybe under the honorable mentions category. But here's my 4th one. So I got Dottie Henson, I got Ricky Vaughn, I got Porter Hamilton Porter and Henry Rosenberger for Big Dave. I got Crash Davis, Kelly Leak, Terrence Mann, and Harry Doyle for Mikey. I personally have Billy Chappell, Squints Palladorus, Jake Taylor, and the man who made it to the major leagues after striking out the Whammer, getting shot, and taking the first pitch in the major leagues for a strike, and he didn't like it. He turned back to look at the umpire. The announcer says, "Welcome to the majors, Mr. Hobbs." The guy that built his own bat, Wonder Boy, right? You got to go with Roy Hobbs. How do you not mention Roy Hobbs? How do you not have a Mount Rushmore and not have Roy Hobbs on it?
Because I have my 4. That's why. He's an honorable man. He would definitely I did write down 6 names.
Okay.
And Dottie Henson and Roy Hobbs were my other 2 names.
Okay. I love it. Dave, do you have 2 or
Yes,
3 other honorable mentions?
Yeah, no, Crash Davis belongs on anybody's list.
Yeah.
You know, and if Crash taught us anything, it's that you do not shake off Crash. And the only reason I didn't go with them is because they left the story hanging out there. And this is from an old movie called The Scout. All right, Brendan Fraser played a guy called Steve Nebraska, a freak of nature, both on the field and a little bit in the head. He was a little squirrely. He throws 81 straight strikes, retires all 27 batters in a perfect game of Game 1 of the World Series, but they never say if he wins the World Series. So, but I mean, 81 straight strikes for a perfect game. I mean, that is unheard of. And just I couldn't believe that you guys left off your guy. He made it to your team, and of course, that's Benny the Jet.
You know, honestly, I was expecting you to mention Benny the Jet. When you started going with the Sandlot reference, Dave, I thought for sure Benny the Jet was part of that. And
if he'd have stayed with the PF Flyers and not put on that crimson blue or whatever your blue's called, I just couldn't. Crimson's red. But yeah, I'm all wrong on that. Just what I know. I know.
When you think about the Sandlot, he is the guy. He's the stud baseball player. But I as characters go in that movie, I wouldn't say he was the best character.
Yeah. He stole home.
He pickled the beast. I mean, we can all agree. He pickled the beast. You know, so
definitely a different level of athlete go on that stage than those other kids. But, you know, I like a little bit of Benny was 100% baseball all the time. I think maybe 5% of the time you got to get a little crazy, you know? You got to step outside the box a little bit and do a squints and kiss a chick or something.
And I think Benny was the only square. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Benny was the only one who didn't take the chaw, right? He didn't do the chaw.
Did he not? I don't know. I thought they all did.
Yeah. No.
Go back and watch it.
Yeah. Well, hey, on somebody else's Mount Rushmore, he's probably on there. And well deserved.
I could probably have 3 Mount Rushmores. I love movies. Baseball movies are fun. I mean, Mr. 3000, Stan Ross. Come on. Stan Ross. Nuclear Loosh. We didn't mention Nuclear Loosh.
Yeah, we didn't mention that was, you know, a tough one too. But I was really trying to have different movies because we all mentioned the same movie, but 3 different characters.
Yeah,
love it. And it wasn't scripted, ladies and gentlemen. That's the beauty in The Odd Couple, is we are so tuned in with baseball and pop culture that we can pull this off without a hitch.
Nuclear Loosh deserves honorable mention. Dottie Henson deserves honorable mention. Jimmy Dugan deserves honorable mention. And you can't not mention.
You could go Willie Mays Hayes, Roger Dorn, Eddie Harris.
Right, Eddie Harris.
He was brave enough to drink Jobu's rum.
Well,
he paid the price. He got nodded.
And what about what about Rue Baker? You could always talk about Rue Baker.
Yeah,
right? Memorizing stuff.
Rue Baker. Yeah. No. I like T-Rex Pennebaker.
T-Rex Pennebaker. Yeah. But here's one that will never make an honorable. Will never make a Mount Rushmore, but was a great baseball legend. Let's talk about Ernie the Scout that found Dottie Henson. Let's talk about the guy that takes him to Wrigley Field and says, "See, hey cowgirls, you see the grass? Don't eat it." Right.
But you're not going to say the one thing he really says about when he goes and visits his wife, are you?
No, sir. That's why I use the one with the. That's why I use the one with the
I respect
cows.
the views and opinions expressed by the odd couple.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
Let's
I use
just
the one
say
with
the
cows.
word pickle is in there.
Yes, and the word
tickle.
and tickle might be in there. You know, who knows? Who knows?
And he found, you know, Martha, what was her last
Marla
name?
Hooch.
Martha Hooch.
Marla
Hooch.
What a
Marla
hitter.
Hooch.
What
You
a
know,
hitter.
More
and
night
he
games.
found her too. So
What a
yeah,
hitter.
I mean, the guy found some legends.
Yeah, he was the scout of all scouts, that guy.
I am going to give another guy's name that always is a great actor. He's never the guy, but Dave Strahan has been in he was an 8-man out, the pitcher. He was, you know, the peach. He helped found the league. He was running the league in the league of their own with
Yeah.
And then he was also 3 of them. 8-man out. That one, and I don't know. He was in 3 of them though. But Dave Strahan, good character actor.
So let's also add to that list. You can never go wrong. I mean, Dave mentioned T-Rex Pennybaker from Mr. 3000, but you can never go wrong either with the Whammer.
No,
right?
well,
I mean, the Whammer was amazing.
Look, no, if we're talking Mr. 3000, the unsung hero of that was, of course, Boca, who played catcher for some period
the Italian dude.
time.
Oh my gosh! All right,
tracksuits.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Odd Couple family, friends, those that you're listening. If you're listening to on YouTube, you got to hit the subscribe button. If you're listening to this in the locker room, congratulations. You are part and in the community. Here's the thing. Top Fan Rivalry is a sports talk fan involved baseball fan community. It's all about us, the fans. We'll never have the professional athletes on there. You know, frankly, we need our voices. And so check us out. Make sure you're subscribing to us on YouTube. Go follow us on X/Twitter. We love having you on there. Mikey Bleeds Blue is amazing. Big Dave is amazing. Go join the T-shirt club if you want. Every month we're dropping a T-shirt, and they are amazing. This month looks like an American flag, and it says "Top Fans in Baseball." It's pretty phenomenal. So go check that out. It's $25 a month, and you're gonna spend more than that on coffee in a month. Why not get yourself a new T-shirt sent to you every month? I mean, it's just that
simple.
simple.
You can see this mug right here.
Yes. So Top Fan Rivalry followers and supporters, we thank you. For those of you that are listening to the Odd Couple, we thank you. We'll do it again next week. Fellas, I think we got some fun stuff going on with some new games. So we'll talk soon.
Yep. Astros stink. Go Dodgers.
As always, I drink the tears of Dodgers fans. Go Stros.